You better watch out. Coming up on your right. Whoa. Easy now, Chris. No. This game is impossible. I mean, this controller is just so sensitive. It's like I turn the wheel just a little and the car runs off the road. It's like I want to be like, but the game makes me be like, But hey, I'm here today to talk about gentleness, so maybe it's a good thing. Gentleness is a fruit of the Spirit. By the way, something God is doing in us to change the world around us. And I need all the help I can get to be gentle, because I am not a gentle guy. I'm strong and fast. I mean, who's got time to be gentle? How important is gentleness anyway? In today's story, Jesus' disciples were probably wondering the same thing. So I'm going to keep trying things my way, see how that works out. That did not work out. Again.
The Bible isn't just a book of random stories. It's 66 different books that come together to tell one story. An incredible one. About God's love for us. And now for an amazing story. Inspired by the book of Mark, chapter 10, verses 13 to 16.
In Mark 10, we can read about a time when Jesus welcomed a group of children and held them in his arms and blessed them. Now, we don't know the names of those kids or their parents, but we can imagine what it might have been like for one tiny boy and his mother. Lydia was ready to tear out her hair. Early that morning, her husband Jude left for the market with a cart full of fresh bread ready to sell. Lydia was trying to bake a fresh batch of rye loaves, but her 2-year-old son Eli was making it impossible.
No, stop, don't touch that.
Whee! Eli had tipped an entire sack of flour. The dust exploded everywhere.
Eli?
Bernice, Lydia's cousin from Capernaum, laughed.
He's just a bit energetic.
Huh, that's like calling the Red Sea a muddy pond.
Next, Eli had run out into the yard to pull the ghost tail and yank up handfuls of potato plants in the garden.
Rah! Rah! No. Those are baby potatoes, not ripe yet.
Lydia brushed dirt from her hands and glanced over at the clay oven.
Bernice, can you keep Eli busy while I build up the fire?
Of course.
Lydia fanned a small fire to heat the oven. Bernice and Eli wandered towards the road, exploring. Lydia noticed that more people than usual seemed to be passing by. Soon, there was a steady stream. Bernice hurried back, Eli in tow.
Jesus, they're going to see Jesus.
What? Where?
Someone said he's teaching by the river near the olive grove.
They both stared as the growing crowd poured along the road.
So many people. This Jesus must have amazing things to say.
I listened to him at Capernaum. He's different. I can't explain it.
If it weren't for Eli, we could...
Lydia glanced around, searching for her son.
Eli!
The toddler had poked a branch covered with dry leaves right into the fire. Now he was holding tight to a flaming torch.
No!
Bernice and Lydia both dove for Eli. Lydia scooped up her son as Bernice swept away the branch and threw it into the flames.
No fire! Don't touch!
Is he okay?
No burns. Just... mad.
We should take him to see Jesus.
Bernice, no rabbi in his right mind wants to be bothered by a child.
Maybe, but Jesus did something in Capernaum. This little boy was there and Jesus picked him up.
Really?
He said, anyone who welcomes one of these little children in my name welcomes me.
Wow.
Lydia stared down at the wriggling toddler in her arms.
Do you think maybe Jesus would bless Eli?
Only one way to find out.
Lydia tucked a loaf of bread and a water skin inside of an empty flour sack and the two women joined the crowd along the road. They took turns carrying Eli and herding him out of the way of horses' hoofs in hundreds of feet.
There's the olive grove.
It took what seemed like hours to work their way through the crowd. By the time Lydia and Bernice neared the front, Eli was hungry and tired of being carried. As she gripped her kicking child, Lydia finally caught a glimpse of a man sitting beneath a gnarled olive tree.
Is that him?
Yes.
Jesus looked tired. His face was strong, but kind.
There, we can get through right over there.
But as Lydia and Bernice neared Jesus, two men stepped into their paths. The men's beards were bushy and their robes travel-stained.
No one gets through right now.
You can see Jesus has to rest.
We only need a moment. We thought maybe he could say a blessing for my son.
Look at this crowd. They all want to see him.
You think Jesus has time for babysitting?
Shamed, Lydia turned away. But Jesus had noticed the commotion. He was on his feet now, walking toward them.
Wait!
Jesus' eyes blazed with anger as he approached his friends. The disciples tried to explain themselves.
This woman...
We thought... Let the little children come to me. Don't keep them away. God's kingdom belongs to people like them.
Jesus' friends quickly stepped back. Everyone nearby was now listening. Lydia stood frozen, still unsure what to do, until Eli stopped struggling, his eyes fixed on Jesus, and then Eli waved. Hi! Jesus' face lit up with a smile.
What I'm about to tell you is true. Anyone who will not receive God's kingdom like a little child will never enter it.
Jesus reached out. As the entire crowd watched in amazement, Eli leaned forward and tipped right into Jesus' arms. Gently, Jesus placed his hand on Eli's head. Then he blessed the boy.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
Other parents came forward quickly, bringing their own sons and daughters for a blessing. With a smile, Jesus handed Eli back to Lydia and knelt down to welcome the other children. Bye-bye. Slowly, Lydia and Bernice made their way back through the crowd with the now happily babbling Eli. They were in awe of the way that Jesus used his power and authority to bless one tiny child.
So the not gentle way wasn't working out so much for me. This way is better, but it is tough. I feel like I'm using every muscle in my body to stay so still. It takes strength to be gentle, y'all. That's a huge thing I figured out. Being gentle doesn't make you weak. To be gentle, you've got to be able to put the needs of others before your own. You've got to be humble and not brag about yourself all the time. You've got to be gentle with your words and your actions. You got to be like Jesus and care about all people, even those who are overlooked or seem unimportant. And doing all those things doesn't come naturally. You have to work really hard to be gentle, or you've got to have a lot of help. That's what the fruit of the Spirit is. When you believe Jesus is who he says he is, the Holy Spirit lives inside you. And he helps you show gentleness even when it's not a natural thing for you. That's one thing to remember today. God can give you the strength to be gentle. So whenever you feel like, stop, take a deep breath, and ask God to help you be more gentle. Most of the time, gentler is better. Now, if you'll excuse me, I got a race to win. I'm having so much fun.